Hello everyone. What we're making today is shredded French dip subs. So what you're gonna need is some beef. I'm using a chuck roast here. It is about 2.5 pounds. We're gonna need just a little bit of olive oil. We're gonna sear the beef in that olive oil, so that's what that's for. We're gonna need some beef stock, some pepper, some salt, a little bit of the Better Than Bouillon beef base. We're gonna need 1 packet of the Lipton onion soup mix, Au Jus gravy mix. We're gonna need some provolone cheese, a little bit of butter. The butter is also to sear the beef in. And then we're gonna need some sub rolls. I find that these sub rolls work really well. I feel like they hold up. We're going to sear the beef first, and then we're gonna put it in the crock pot, and it's gonna cook on low all night. So I'm gonna clear off my stove, grab a pan, and then I'll be back to show you what we do next. I have about a tablespoon of olive oil in our pan here. The pan is good and hot. Now I'm gonna add 2 tablespoons of butter. And then while that butter is melting, I'll just tell you this. So what I did was I salt and peppered both sides of my beef here. Once this butter melts, we're gonna go ahead and just put the beef in the pan, and we're gonna sear all sides, just about maybe two to 3 minutes on each side. And then what we're gonna do is go ahead and put it right into the crock pot on low. And we're gonna take some of our beef stock and put a little bit of the beef stock in this pan, and we're gonna scrape up any bits and put it in the crock pot as well. And then also we're going to put a little bit of the Better Than Bouillon beef base, as well as 1 packet of the Lipton soup mix. That works. Go ahead and put your beef in your pan and just leave it be for about 2 to 3 minutes each side. Okay, that's what we're looking like after the first sear, and I did sear it for about 3 minutes. I'm just going to continue to do that on all sides. Okay, I just removed the beef from the pan and I took it off of the heat, and then just wanted to show you what the beef looks like. I have the crock pot on low right now. So back over to our pan here, I have 1 cup of our beef stock. You're gonna very carefully pour it into your pan. It's still gonna be hot. And now what you're gonna do is just scrape all the bits off the bottom. And then we're just going to pour it right on top of our beef. I'm going to let that sit here for a moment. Now you're going to take your Lipton soup mix and sprinkle it right over the beef. And you can sprinkle some along the sides as well. The entire packet. And now you're going to take your beef stock with the bits and just pour it right on top. We're going to take a spoonful of the Better Than Bouillon beef base. And we're going to put that right on in there. And you can wipe any excess off on the beef. That's going to be fine. I'm going to add a little bit more of the beef stock in here. About another cup or so. All right, there we go. We're going to go ahead and put the lid on it. And this is going to cook on low all night, and then I'll meet you back here tomorrow. Okay, it's the next day and our beef is done. Looks delicious, smells delicious. I do have my crock pot on warm right now. The first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna take about 1/2 cup of this broth here. I'm gonna actually use both hands because this drips a little bit. So give me 1 second, I'm gonna get 1/2 cup out. I got 1/2 cup of the broth out. Now what I'm gonna do is, I'm using the McCormick Au Jus gravy mix. It's 1 packet, and then you'll need 3 cups of water. I'm gonna do 2.5 cups of water, and then the remaining 1/2 cup is gonna be my beef broth. So I'm gonna get that started as well. You're gonna just follow the back of the instructions for your au jus, unless you wanted to just strictly make it out of this broth here, which you can do if you wanted. But what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna go ahead and shred my beef. I'm gonna get the broiler preheated on my oven, get the rolls out, the cheese, and all that good stuff. And also I wanted to mention, if you use the French onion soup mix like I did, you can see how there's little pieces of the onion floating in here. If you wanted to strain it, you could. It does not bother me. If I have any pieces of the onion or little pieces of the beef, that does not bother me at all. But if you wanted to strain it, you absolutely can. I wanted to mention that I did put cold water in with the packet of Au Jus. the 2.5 cups of cold water. Once this warms up, then I'll go ahead and add my warm broth. I don't like to add the warm broth to the packets because I don't want any clumps, so that's the way I do that. And then I'm working on shredding my beef here. I don't want it to be like super finely shredded. And then I'm just picking off if I see any big pieces of fat. I don't mind a little bit of fat, but any really big pieces of fat I will scoop out. So just have some aluminum foil on a baking sheet. I'm going to put my roll under the broiler, literally just until it toasts. You definitely want to keep an eye on it. Once it toasts a bit, I'll go ahead and put the cheese on it, and then we'll put the beef on it. Okay, I pulled my sub roll out of the oven, and I just put 3 pieces of provolone cheese. Now it's going to go back in the oven just for a little bit to get the cheese melting. Okay, our French dip is done. Oh my goodness, that looks amazing. All right, let's see if I can do this with one hand. Look at that. Dip. That is absolutely delicious. That beef is delicious. Amazing. That meat is so flavorful. Love it. 10 out of 10, highly recommend. Just make sure you grab yourself some extra napkins. I hope that y'all enjoy this video, and if you make it, please let me know how you like it. I hope you have a great day and a great rest of your week, and I will see you on the next one. Bye everyone.